How are you doing today, my lazies? Continuing this segment, we're looking into how well each team would perform against Orochimaru in the Forest of Death. This segment will be highly interesting considering what we know about Orochimaru and the other teams in the forest. I'm excited to jump in, so with that being said, starting off this segment, let's analyze what would happen if Orochimaru ran into Team Asuma in the forest. Assuming Orochimaru forces him to fight, leaving Shikamaru no choice but to think of a strategy, I believe that Shikamaru would actually impress Orochimaru and remind him of Kabuto. Now, this team, even with the effort Orochimaru used against Sasuke, would get mega stomped, but would be able to come up with a strategy that impresses Orochimaru. Due to this, I can see multiple scenarios happening. For one, I can see Orochimaru analyzing Shikamaru's potential and convincing him to join him so he'd do less work, or killing both Choji and Ino while giving Shikamaru a curse mark to force him to seek his power. Or he just sees Shikamaru as a threat and ends the entire team. Very short analysis here. I don't see a way they could outperform Sasuke and Naruto, or even catch Orochimaru with their teamwork, considering he studied all the clans in the Leaf and knows how their powers operate. Plus the fact he has that paralysis jutsu that no one on this team can actually combat at. The next team we'll analyze today will be Team Kurai. This team has a high chance of impressing Orochimaru. Now, Kiba and Hinata won't impress him as much, even though he compared the Byakugan to the Sharingan, but Shino would actually catch his eye. The sheer power and skill Shino displayed around this time was actually insane. This team could have finished the exams first if they didn't try to scout more scrolls, causing them to run into Gaara. This tracker unit could actually find a way to get away from Orochimaru, but assuming they're forced to fight him, I'd say Shino would be the only one to actually put up a fight. Even though Orochimaru knows about the Aburame clan in detail, there's multiple scenarios that could come from this meeting. For one, he was in league with Danzo, so the pact Danzo had with the Aburame would more than likely stop Orochimaru from kidnapping or bestowing the curse mark on Shino. But he'd be highly impressed by his sheer skill. Assuming Orochimaru finds Shino too enticing, which is highly possible considering Danzo did, I can see him saying, screw the pact, and kidnapping him. Danzo only chose Torune over Shino due to Torune volunteering in his place and hiding the fact he gave Shino his nanobugs. Orochimaru would actually be a strong enough opponent for Shino to try the bugs on, and he would be able to sense all of Orochimaru's substitutions, rendering him to fight with his real body the entire time. The paralysis will work on all of them, but I could see Shino breaking everyone out of it. Depending on how much Shino impresses Orochimaru determines his fate. Too impressive, and he gets taken. But too boring and repetitive, and Orochimaru might just kill Kiba while sparing Hinata due to political ties. I don't see this team as a whole performing better, but I can see Shino outperforming Naruto and Sasuke against Orochimaru, especially since his bugs can consume Senjutsu, so they would actually eat his curse mark should one get placed on him. On to a more impressive team. I actually believe this is the first team that would actually give Orochimaru a decent enough challenge. I can see Neji and Lee both impressing Orochimaru to a high degree. Several scenarios can arise from this team. For one, he gives both or one of the boys curse marks while either knocking out or full-on killing Tenten. I can see Tenten keeping Orochimaru on his toes a bit with her traps, but nothing beyond that. The potential of Neji and Lee would absolutely entice Orochimaru to play with them more than he did against Naruto and Sasuke. Neji would be his replacement for Sasuke, considering the Byakugan is supposed to be stronger than the Sharingan. But I wonder how Neji's Hyuga curse mark would react to Orochimaru's. The final team would actually make Orochimaru take them serious. Temari and Kankuro would be entertainment, but eventually get boring. Gaara, being a Jinchuriki, would intrigue Orochimaru, but eventually just annoy him. Yamabuto was strong enough to take on Shukaku in a stalemate and is an equivalent summon to Manda. So even in full possession, Orochimaru has no worries against an angry Gaara. I can see him trying his hardest to just annihilate this team, and this is also assuming there was no sound and sand pact, and they had just met for the first time in the forest. There's no doubt that the signing Orochimaru would annihilate Gaara, but he would actually use the most effort against him considering his tremendous power. This was a fairly short one. It's really just determining a few factors. Is Orochimaru impressed, bored, or pushed to try? Gaara, Shino, Lee, and Neji are the only Genin from these groups that would give Orochimaru any type of excitement in the forest, while the others might annoy or bore him enough to kill them. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and as usual, like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to stay lazy.